Howie, how long were you doing stand-up? I heard about this morning in a meeting. One of your first big gigs was opening for Diana Ross, and that's a huge thing.
You know what? But, you know, I should tell. Well, you kind of. The story was this: I did the Merv Griffin show, and I was still commuting I'm from Toronto. I was commuting back and forth from Toronto because I did Make Me Laugh, and I got calls from the Mike Douglas show, and then I flew out and did the Mike Douglas show, and then I'd go back home, and then Merv Griffin. I did the Merv Griffin show, and I flew back to Toronto, and I fly back to Toronto. Right after, and I had a full-time job. I was still in retail. And I get a call from Gene Simmons of Kiss. And why is that funny? And at that time, they were like huge, right? Kiss was everything. And they said, Gene Simmons of Kiss, my mom said, Gene Simmons of Kiss is on the phone. And I talked to him and he goes, it's Gene Simmons. I saw you on Merv and you were very funny. I went, thank you, this is amazing. Kiss saw me. And he goes, will you be my girlfriend's opening act? And I go, oh, okay, who's your girlfriend? And I don't know if you remember this, but he was living with Diana Ross. That was his girlfriend. And he hired me to be her opening act. And I said, yes, without really having an act. I was on Make Me Laugh for 6 minutes, and then I put together another 6 minutes for Merv and Mike. I didn't have like 20 minutes or a half hour. I remember that it was horrible. I went to Caesar's Palace. I'd never been to Vegas, and I'm at Caesar's Palace, and I go backstage, and on the door, it says Howie Mandel with 2 L's. And that's not even how I spell my name. Everybody knows it's 6. But but you know, I had a dressing room, and in the dressing room, there was this piano, and a guy comes in and says, you Mr. Mandel? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, you're opening up for Miss Ross tonight. You have to do 20 minutes. And I said, okay. I'll try. And he said, do you hear what I'm saying? And I go, yeah, I hear what you're saying. And he says 20 minutes, not 19, not 21, 20. You got it? I go, I got it. I got it. And at that time, I never wore a watch, and I didn't know that everything, but it's a casino, you know? She has a show for every minute longer that they're gonna stay in. They're not at the table. So that's what the business in Vegas is. So I go, how am I gonna do 20 minutes? I know what I'll do. I used to always blow up a glove on my head and inflate it, and it would pop off. I knew that took a minute, you know? So I said, when there's 2 minutes to go, I gave a guy $20, a stagehand backstage. I gave him $20. I said, when there's like 2 minutes to go, will you go right behind, I worked in front of the curtain. Will you go behind the curtain and go on the curtain, and then I'll know. I'll know. And he goes, I'll do that for you. I gave him the 20 bucks. The first night, the lights go down, the crowd roars, and it says, Caesar's Palace is proud to present an evening with Diana Ross, and the roar was deafening. If you listened really closely, I was standing beside the guy who said it, and now Howie Mandel. But first, Howie Mandel. Nobody wanted to see me. They weren't there for me. They let me out of the curtain, and I'm in front of the curtain, and everybody just got quiet, and people were looking at me like, what is this? What is this? And I'm standing right at the lip of the stage, and there's a lady right at the lip that's looking at me right in my eyes, going, get off, get off. She's hitting me on the toes. I'm not getting one laugh. It's just silence the whole time, and I'm sweating. I have a picture of myself in a sports jacket, and you could see the sweat stains. It's just like horrible. And then finally, after what seems like an eternity, I hear, and I go, okay, great. And I take out the glove, and I put the glove on my head, and it's still silent. I'm an idiot standing with a rubber glove on my head in the middle of silence. Like, this is the most, I think maybe they're roaring, but this is thick latex, maybe. It pops off my head, there's nothing. But the saving grace was I went, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy Diana Ross, because that was the end of my act. And I turn around, they roar, because I say that. I turn around, and there's a page at the curtains. The curtains aren't opening, and there's somebody holding the curtain closed, and I'm going, I'm finished, please, I'm finished. And the applause dies down, and it's kind of like quiet and uncomfortable like this right now. So, and I'm saying, please, and I hear the guy on the other side, he goes, another 10 minutes, another 10 minutes, and I'm going, what, so I turn around, and I have nothing else. I have nothing. I'm just a sweat and horror, and my glove is on the floor, and I'm just a mess, and it seems like what happened was, I had been on for maybe 10 minutes. But when you're dying, it seems like an eternity. And I had just heard, because it was so silent, I heard somebody walk by behind me. That wasn't the exercise. And it was horror. And then every night, the audience hated me. And at the end of the week, they said, Miss Ross wants to talk to you. And I said, oh, I'm gonna be fired. I love this. I need to be fired. I walked into her room, and she said, Howie, I think you're one of the funniest people I've ever seen. Will you stay on tour with me? And I became her opening act because she was a fan, and she has been so supportive from then ever since. I just attended her 75th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
You were an opening act?
Yeah, we have to take a break. I'll tell you, yeah, I opened for Lola Falana in Vegas, and it was exactly like that, and I thought I was done.
Me too.
And they said 10 more minutes. I'm like, I was like, walk off. They timed it. I ended up saying, I went out the second night, and I was like, oh, it was the second show, because it's 2 shows a night.
Right, yeah.
I walked out, and I said, you know how when you order like a steak dinner, it comes with vegetables, like a broccoli or spinach, and you don't really want that, but it's on the plate? I'm that. I'm the spinach. I'm the broccoli. I know you're here for the steak, but there was just silence. They were silent. They didn't care. Yeah, it was terrible. But yeah.
Hey, we're here. You made it. I got a prediction. You are gonna do good in this business.
God, I hope so. I hope so.
Mark my words.
All right.
This kid's going place.